Right then, there's a quick walk around video, and this is for a Honda CR-V 1.6 SE Navi. 66 plate, as you can see, with 71,000 miles on the clock. The car's just had one owner from you, full Honda history, right up to the one we've literally just done ourselves. Finished in black, which always looks lovely, especially on these facelift models with the chrome treatment. The car is absolutely lovely. Go around the car, it's just starting to spit with rain, so I hope it doesn't ruin the video. Front of the car, new style front end, looks really good. Lights and lenses are clear and intact. Bonnet is very, very clean indeed. Any stone chips very light. Near side, lovely and smooth down the panel work. Near side front alloy in excellent condition. Likewise, near side rear, bumper corners on the back, very, very clean. Really is a crisp looking car, this one. The offside, driver's side, and lovely and smooth down the panels, really clean, no car parking indentations at all. Offside rear alloy, again, absolutely lovely condition. Final alloy, again, really nice. It really is, especially a black car, it just is in super condition there. Coming into the back, wide opening rear doors. Worth pointing out, we haven't actually cleaned this car yet. It's going to be cleaned, but I've done the video anyway because it's so clean as it stands. Back of the car, which is where kids sit and can often be very heavily used and marked in CR-Vs. Yeah, this one's been kept really, really nicely. Coming to the front of the passenger side, again, all nice and clean. Full set of original Honda mats. Passenger seat there, been given hardly any use at all. Finally coming on the driver's side, door card again, really nice. Same with the footwell areas. Driver's seat again in super condition. Inside the car now, as always, the engine's running, so the dash is illuminated, which looks pretty much like new in all honesty. Sat nav, as you can see, working exactly as it should. Pop the car into reverse there, you've got that lovely clear parking camera, and that complements the front and rear parking sensors. Really has been kept very, very nicely, this car. Coming to the dash pinnacle, 71,194 miles, and the only warning light on, which will go out as soon as I put a bit of fuel in the car. It really is a lovely car, this one. Finally, just to show you, owner's manual pack and lock and wheel nut key, all here and present with the car. Right then, this is a quick road test, and this is for a Honda CR-V 1.6 SE Navi. Car is registered SF66CLE, and mileage at the start of the road test is 71,188 miles. The reason we do these videos, by the way, and especially this bit, the road test section, is just to ensure that if anyone's online looking at any of our cars and our adverts, they get to see that very car in operation. We know just how frustrating it can be to go and see a car which can look perfectly good in a photograph or a description, but only to get there and find out it's actually got an obvious fault as soon as you drive the car that you'd much rather known about before heading off. So that is why we do it. So coming to the car, lovely ownership and history on the car. As soon as you get in the car, you know you're in a good one because it just drives as tight as a drum. Twist the key, engine starts instantly, settles to a smooth, even idle. Aside from a low fuel light, there are no warning lights on the car at all relating to the engine or any other part of the car actually. And temperature gauge running at a third, which is exactly where it's meant to be on a Honda vehicle. It is a brilliant diesel engine, simply brilliant. It's got all of the trademark qualities you can expect from any Honda, so they are incredibly tough and reliable over huge mileages just with good regular maintenance. They have cam chains, there's no cam belts on them. But more than that, it's just actually how they drive. It's a lovely unit, it's very economical, it's flexible, it's powerful, but you know, and very quiet on the move. You know, you barely hear it running when it's up and cruising. Engine then feeds through into the clutch and gearbox. Clutch on the car, biting perfectly, exactly where it's meant to be again, nice and smooth in operation. And then you come to one of the best gearboxes you're going to use in any car actually. First of all, positioning the gear lever, daft as it sounds, is perfection. Your hand just falls naturally to it. It's not down here, so you're having to dislocate your shoulder to get it in. The gear change is short and throw. It's got a lovely actuation as it goes into gear. It's beautifully done. Really underplayed by too many people when they drive these cars. It's wonderful, and that feels exactly as it would have done when it was new, by the way. Just zero wear. Moving on to the steering and chassis, which has always been a strong point of the CR-Vs. First and foremost, track's nice and straight. There's no vibrations at this speed, or any speed actually up to the legal limit. But what's lovely about it, again, when you get in, you notice straight away it's got, even though it's power steering and it's light and it's easy to manoeuvre, it's got weight to it on the move. So it hasn't got that horrible detached feeling you get with lots of cars. The car feels really substantial on the road, and it's helped by the steering in that sense. It means the car doesn't feel nervous, but it's also accurate. It's pretty quick for one of these cars as well. It's not, one of these where you've got to turn and wait and lots of lock before it does anything. As soon as you turn the wheel, it's moving as well. But it's very nicely done. It's dialed in brilliantly with the chassis. Because I think the chassis is one of these things, it's completely misunderstood in some ways by a lot of the motoring press, most of which basically just want to drive Ferraris all day. So they go, oh, they're a bit boring to drive. No, it's actually genius in its own way, because to get a car to go around corners as well as this one does, because it flows through corners really well without being sporty, it means you don't get lots of body roll, you don't get lots of sort of secondary motions where it wallows. And normally to get that kind of handling, you end up with a very brittle, hard ride, because it's got to be a hard suspension. Or you go for something that gives you a ride that's as good as this, and it is very comfortable indeed. But you end up with something that's wallowy and soft, and yet this manages to do both brilliantly well, and it really is genius in the way they've done it. But they've always been good on that Honda with the CR-V, which is why it's always been one of the best sellers in the world. Also worth pointing out, absolutely no clonks, rattles, anything from underneath the car at all as tight as a drum. Brakes on the car are superb, just touch them, they're powerful, there's no pulsing or vibrations coming back through the brake pedal either. And then finally coming inside, first thing you notice when you get in a CR-V, great driving position, really comfortable seats, anyone can get comfortable in it. And then you notice how good the visibility is again, so it means you don't feel intimidated by the car, you don't feel you're kind of in it and blind spots everywhere. You notice you can see the bonnet, you've got these huge wing mirrors on either side to give you, help with lane changing or manoeuvring. But you just feel very confident in the vehicle, which is a sort of running theme with the car. The dash layout itself, even though it's it's a very highly equipped car in its own right, is very simple to work your way around. In a couple of days in the car, and you've absolutely mastered it. You've got a very easy to use sat-nav system, Garmin based. Most people have used those over the years at some point. Down below that, dual zone climate control system, so you can have different temperatures on either side, and that pumps out lovely cold air. As always is the case, if you twist anything, if you prod anything, you've met with a nice high quality, substantial feeling, slick control. Again, which is what Honda do superbly well. And then your dash binnacle in front, as it should be, clear, crisp, minimalist, white on black dials, easy on the eye. You just take the information in, and then you finally got this lovely leather-bound steering wheel. These are fantastic cars, which is why we sell so many of them. They're not necessarily cheap compared to their competitors, but they're a damn sight better to own, to drive, to sit in, to use, practicality-wise. As I said at the start of the video, the point of it may only be brief. It's just to show the car operating, but to feedback on any issues that I can find, and there literally is absolutely nothing at all.